Hey, what's up and welcome back to another build tutorial where today I'm going to show you how to build some modern row houses in Minecraft. And each house features all of the essentials, including somewhere to park your car, a living room, a kitchen, a bathroom and a bedroom. So basically all the stuff you need to, well, live basically. And as always, before I start this tutorial, I'd really appreciate a little smash on that like button as it does help me out and I'd highly appreciate that. But yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's start building. Here are all the materials that you will need for this build. So before I start this tutorial, I'm just going to explain how it's going to work. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to build one of these houses. So aka I'm going to show you how to build the yellow one, because basically each of these houses are basically identical. All you've got to do is line them up next to each other. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do the yellow house. So that includes the main building and that little balcony and all of this driveway area there. And then all you've got to do is repeat that another 2 times, but in different colours, which will give you this row of houses here. So before I give you the heads up there on how this tutorial is going to work. Here are all the dimensions that you will need for the yellow house. And as you see, the same dimensions will follow for the other 2 houses as well. So first up, let's just get all the ground foundations done. So for that, firstly, I'm just going to grab myself some smooth stone to begin with. And then just on this front left corner just there, I'm just going to place 5 smooth stone going along like that. Just replacing a bit of the border there. And the next, I'm then going to grab myself some grey concrete. I'm just going to place 3 next to the smooth stone, just like so. And then going back to the smooth stone, I'm going to place another 4 going along just like that. And then going back to the smooth stone, from this point here, I'm just going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks going along like that. And then from this point, placing another 3 going across. And then I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks going down on the other side there. And then just where this grey concrete is, I'm just going to extend that going into this little bit of the grass here, which will give us our driveway for the house. And the next, from this point, I'm going to place another 5 smooth stone, just going up like that. So replacing the grass there. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 2, and then I'm going to place a whole strip of smooth stone just going down to meet at the bottom here. So if you've done everything correctly so far, you should end up with something that looks like this. Next up, I'm now going to grab myself some stone. And then from this point here, I'm just going to place a checkered pattern going all the way up. Just until I reach the top there. And then just where you see any grass, I'm just going to replace that with some more smooth stone here. As you see, that will create a nice patterned path going up to the front door of the house. Next up, I'm now going to grab myself some light grey concrete. And then with it, just from this point, I'm going to place 9 blocks going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like so there. And then I'm going to go right by another 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go outwards by 1. And then I'm going to place another 7. Just going across like that, just until we reach the end of the border here. And the next from this point, I'm going to place another 12 light grey concrete going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just going down like that. And then I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 light grey concrete going across like that. And then finally adding another 6 blocks just going around to meet with this corner here. And basically what we have done here, we've just marked out where all of the floors going to go of the house. As you see, any grass area inside of this area that we've marked, I'm just going to replace all of that with this light grey concrete. Which will leave you with something that looks like this. And the next, just where you see a bit of this border showing, I'm just going to replace that with some grass. Just going up like that. And then just this little area at the back, I'm just going to replace all of that with some smooth stone. So I'm just going to replace the grass first, followed by all of the yellow wool here. And then just to jazz up this grass area, because this is going to be like a little front garden, just to add a little bit more grass and stuff to it, I'm just going to grab some bone meal. And I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3 bone meal, like so. I might get rid of some of those big bushes, just to neaten it off a little bit more. So if you've done everything correctly, all your foundations should look exactly like this. So with the foundations done, we can now actually start building the house. So for this, firstly, I'm going to grab myself some yellow concrete. And then just going from this point here, I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 concrete going along like that. And I'm just going to thicken it by 1 more behind, just like so. And then going to the left, I'm just going to place 4 yellow concrete like that. I'm going to build it up by another 2 layers, just like so. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 4, and then just do the same thing on the other side. Next up, I'm then going to grab myself some smooth quartz, as well as some smooth quartz stairs, and I'm also going to grab myself a white stained glass pane. So first up, with the white glass, I'm just going to place 6 just on the left hand side, just there. And then going to the smooth quartz block, I'm just going to place 6 of these on the right hand side. And then for a little shutter design, I'm just going to add 6 stairs like so. And then next, going back to the yellow concrete, I'm just going to place another 2 layers of 4 going up like that. And then I'm just going to extend this all the way along, just until I reach the other side, just like so. And then next, I'm just going to repeat what we did on the bottom there. So again, going to the left hand side, I'm going to place 4 yellow concrete like that, and extend it up by another 2. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side here, just like so. And then with the white stained glass panes, placing 6 on the left. And then going back to the smooth quartz, placing 6 like that. And then adding another 6 stairs in front. So that'll complete both of the front windows. And then going back to the yellow concrete, I'm going to place this time 2 blocks on the left. And then just extending that all the way to the other side, just like so. So we're just going to repeat this exact same design, but at the back. So if we go just to the back of the foundations here, starting from this point, I'm going to place another 8 yellow concrete going across like that, and then just thickening up at the back here, just like so. And then firstly on the left, placing another 4 yellow concrete, and then repeating that another 2 times. And then doing the same thing on the other side, just like so. And then with the smooth quartz block, just going to place another 6 on the left hand side. But as you notice, this time we're mirroring what we're doing on the other side here, so everything should line up with the other side. And then on the right, with the white stained glass, just going to fill that in. And then I'm just going to add some more stairs in front of that smooth quartz there. And then going back to the yellow concrete, I'm going to place another 4 like that, followed by another 4. And then just extending this across until I reach the other side here, just like so. And then for the next layer, from this point, placing another 4 blocks, and then repeating that another 2 times, going up. And then doing the same thing just on the right hand side here, just like so. And then with the smooth quartz, placing 6 just on the left, again making sure it lines up with the other side over there. And then on the right hand side, placing the white stained glass, and then adding some stairs in front, just like so there. And then going back to the yellow concrete, from this point, I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks going along, and then just extend that up by another layer, just like so. So if you've done everything correctly so far, you should have 2 walls like this. And the next, just going to the left hand side, just here, with this yellow concrete. From this point, I'm just going to place one bit of concrete like that. And I'm just going to extend this going all the way along to the other side. And I'm building that up by one more layer. Just like so. And as you see, that will leave us with a large hollow area here. I'm just going to fill all of this area up with yellow concrete. So just building a large wall going all the way up just to fill in this big gap here. Just like so. So that should leave you with a nice solid yellow wall on the left hand side. And then just going on the right hand side, just from this point, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3 blocks going along like that. And then I'm just going to build this going all the way up to the top. Just until I reach there. And then I'm going to place 2 blocks there. And then extending that across to make one solid wall. And the next up, I'm going to leave a gap of 2 here. Then I'm going to place 4 yellow concrete going along. And I'm just going to build that up. Just going all the way to the top here. Just until I'm level. Just there. And then I'm going to place another 2 blocks on the right. And then extending that across. Just to neaten off that wall. Next up, I'm then going to grab myself some grey concrete. And from this point, I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And on that block, just next to it, I'm going to place 2 light grey concrete, like so. And then from this point, I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. On that block, switch into the yellow concrete. I'm going to place 2 next to that. And another 2 on top, just like so. Next up, I'm just going to fill in all of the floor for the upper level here. So just from where we placed these 2 bits of concrete, I'm just going to extend that just to fill up all of this level here. Complete all of the floor, just like so. Next up, I'm now going to grab myself some grey concrete. And with this concrete, firstly, just from this point, I'm just going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks, just going up like that. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 2 and then place another 10 blocks going up, just so it's level with the other side there. And then I'm going to grab myself some light grey concrete. And from this point, I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just going to place 2 light grey concrete like so. Just to mark out where the floor's going to go. And then just going to the other side, going back to the grey concrete. From this point, I'm just going to place 4 going along. And I'm just going to build that up, just so it's 10 blocks high in total. So it should just be 1 block underneath this yellow wall here. And it should be level with the front as well. And the next, from this point, I'm just going to place grey concrete going along like that. And doing the same thing just on the bottom here. And as you see, that will leave us with a nice large hollow area there. I'm just going to fill all that area in with all this concrete here. To give us a nice large grey wall. Just like so. And I'm going to this gap here just at the top. I'm going to place another 2 grey concrete to fill that bit in. And then if we go inside here, I'm just going to continue some of the floor. So going back to the light grey concrete. Firstly, I'm just going to place from this point 3 grey concrete going along, followed by another 3. And then from this point, I'm going to place 2. And then extend that across to the back there. And that will leave us a little gap just here, which should be 5 blocks long. And the next up, to add some stairs to the house, I'm going to grab myself a smooth quartz slab. And just from this point here, I'm just going to go across to the wall and then place 1 slab there. And then I'm just going to place 1 slab going diagonally up all the way to the top there, which will give us a nice little modern staircase there. Next up, let's finish all of the roofs here. So for the yellow roof, firstly, with some more of this smooth quartz. From this point here, I'm just going to place 6 quartz going along like that. And I'm just going to extend this going all the way to the back. just to fill in all of this area here. Just like so. And the next, going to the smooth quartz slabs, I'm just going to place slabs going all the way around, just on top of all of this yellow concrete here. Just like so. And then for this grey roof, with the grey concrete, I'm just going to fill all of this in at the top. Just like so. And the next, I'm going to add that little balcony here. So going back to the smooth quartz, I'm just going to place 4 going along like that, followed by another 4. And then with some of this white stained glass, I'm just going to place 4 going along there. And then at the top here, with some smooth quartz slabs, I'm just going to place another 8 in front, just for a nice little bit of shelter there. Next up, I'm going to add some greenery on top of this roof. So I'm going to grab myself some oak leaves. And then just inside this area here, I'm just going to place 80 oak leaves inside. And there's no specific way of doing this. I'm just going to place these randomly so you get like a nice large bush on top. So I'm going to place 80 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 80. Just like that. So as you see, that'll just give you a nice bush on top of the roof there. Just to be clear on final time, please don't try and copy me block by block because that's going to be very hard. The best way is to just place 80 blocks randomly just so you get something that looks similar to this. So you should just get a nice large bush on top. So that will complete the roof. And the next, for some extra details on the outside. Firstly, I'm just going to grab myself a barrel. Just going to place that there. Oh, let's place that the other way. And then I'm also going to grab myself a flower pot. I'm just going to place 1 on top of the barrel, as well as 1 on each windowsill there. I'm going to fill this flower pot with a cornflower. Let's just place that in there. And I'm going to fill these 2 with a fern here. Just grab a nice fern there and just fill these up, just like so there. And next up, let's add the doors in. So I'm going to need some white stained glass panes, and I'm also going to need a deep slate tile wall. So firstly, I'm just going to place 1 white stained glass pane there, deep slate tile wall on top, and then 2 glass on top of that. The first door, and then doing the same thing on the other level there. Just like so. Next up, I'm then going to grab myself some oak leaves. And then just from this point, I'm just going to place 3 there, just for a little outer bush like so. And I'm also going to add a little extra bush just going next to the window for a little bit of extra decoration. So for that, you're going to need some oak leaves. And you're also going to need some flowering azalea leaves as well. So for the bush, firstly, from this point, I'm going to place 1 oak leaf there, followed by some flowering leaves there, and then 2 oak leaves just below that, and then some more flowering leaves, and then just 1 oak leaf under that, which will give us a nice little side bush there. Kind of looks like ivy or something. So with those bushes placed, that is all of the exterior of the house complete. And before we do the interior, I think it's time we light this place up. But it's a bit dark in here at the minute. So to light that place up, I am going to grab myself some lanterns here. So firstly, just from the entrance here, from this point, I'm going to count up 2 blocks, placing 1 lantern there for a nice little hallway light. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 3 and then place another lantern just there. So that will light up all of the hallway. I'm going to do the same thing upstairs, just placing 1 lantern there, leave a gap of 3, place another one like so. And then going into the living room here, just from this point, I'm going to count across 1, 2, and then up by another 2 on that block, placing a lantern like so. Then I'm going to leave a gap of 3 and then place another lantern. And the next I'm going to do the exact same thing upstairs this time. So from this point, counting across 2 and then up by 2, placing a lantern there, leaving a gap of 3 and then placing another lantern for the upstairs lights. And for the landing here, I'm also going to add a little banister. So I'm going to grab some more white stained glass panes. From this point, just going to place some going in an L shape, just like that, for a nice little banister. And next up, let's add some doors on the inside here. So with this white stained glass, just going to place some on the right of that doorway. I'm doing the same upstairs. And going upstairs, I'm also going to add a little extra wall here. But just from this point, I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3 blocks going along, leaving a gap of 2, and then placing another block there. Then I'm just going to build this up, just extending these points all the way to the top there, which will give us some more walls. And then I'm going to place 4 white stained glass on the left hand side there. And as you see, that will divide upstairs into a bedroom area and a bathroom area. So with the house all fully built, it's now time to start decorating the inside properly with loads of furniture. So let's start decorating the inside of this house. So first up, let's get the kitchen sorted. So first up, I'm going to grab myself some grey concrete to begin with. Firstly, just in this corner here, I'm just going to place 1, 2 grey concrete going out, just like that. Then I'm going to leave a gap and then place another bit of grey concrete. Then I'm going to leave a gap and then place another bit on the left there. And the next for a little sink, I'm going to grab myself a cauldron. I'm going to place that down, and then I'm going to grab myself a water bucket. I'm just going to place some water inside there. And then for an oven, I'm going to grab myself a smoker. And I'm just going to put 1 there. And then to make it look more like a modern oven, I'm going to grab myself an item frame. Just going to place that in front. I'm also going to grab myself a smooth quartz slab. I'm just going to put that inside the item frame and rotate it. And the next, I'm going to grab myself a black banner and 2 white die. I'm also going to need a loom. If I put the banner in there with the white, I'm going to choose a border going round, followed by a square on the bottom there. And then if I grab this banner, and if I just shift and place it in front, as you see, that will create a modern looking oven. And then for some hobs, I'm going to grab myself an iron trapdoor. I'm just going to place that on top of the smoker there. And then to the right there, let's just say the people here have been baking. So let's grab a lovely cake here and let's put it just there for a bit of extra deco. And the next for a chopping board, I'm going to grab myself a wooden pressure plate. So I'm going to get an oak one. Just going to put that there. And then for a countertop, I'm going to grab some grey carpet, some light grey one. I'm just going to put that on top of the grey concrete there, just like so. And the next for a working fridge, I'm going to grab myself a block of iron. Go place 1 there. And then just on top of that block of iron, I'm going to grab myself a dropper. I'm going to put 1 on top. I'm going to grab myself a stone button, and I'm going to put a button on top of the dropper there. And then I'm going to grab myself an iron door and just put it in front of those 2 blocks there. So as you see, as you press that button, you can fill this dropper with any item and it will dispense it out for you, like so. And the next, I'm then going to grab myself a grey shulker box. I'm going to put 1 on the right there, leaving a gap, placing 2 there for some overhead cabinets. And I'm also going to grab myself a quartz stair. Smooth one. I'm just going to put that on top of the oven there for a little extraction fan, just like so. That'll complete the kitchen area. And next up, I'm going to add some table and chairs here for a little eating area. So for that, firstly, for the table, I am going to grab myself a redstone torch and a piston. And just here, I'm just going to dig down 2 blocks. I'm going to place the redstone torch there, followed by a piston on top. As you see, that'll activate it and give us a nice looking table there. And then for some chairs, I'm going to grab myself some deep slate tile stairs. Let's place 1 just on each side of the piston there. And then for a plate, I'm going to grab myself an item frame, placing that down. And let's say, what is for dinner tonight? Let's have a baked potato. Let's put a baked potato in there, just like so there. And then just above this table, I'm going to add a nice little bit of modern art here. So for that, I'm going to grab myself a white banner, some grey dye, and also some light grey dye. I'm also going to need a loom as well. So if I place the loom down and put the white banner in along with the light grey to begin with, I'm going to choose this bottom square first. And then with the grey, I'm going to choose this left stripe there. Now see, that'll just create a nice bit of modern art which you can put on top of the table there. So next up, moving on to the living room, which is going to be at the back here. So firstly, for a sofa, I am going to grab myself some grey wool and also a smooth quartz slab. And then firstly, just in this point, I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks going along in like an N shape there. And then I'm just going to add smooth quartz slabs in the middle there to fill that in. That'll give us a nice comfy looking couch. And then I'm going to grab myself some white carpet. I'm just going to place 2 there for a nice little rug. And the next, for a TV, I am going to grab myself some black concrete, some iron trapdoors, and I'm also going to grab myself a painting here. I'm just going to place 2 black concrete like so, an iron trapdoor on the top, and an iron trapdoor on the bottom. And then to make this TV look like it's on, I'm going to add a painting. So I'm going to add the nice blue one just there. That'll look like the TV is on. And then I'm going to add some cabinets underneath. So for that, I'm going to grab myself some more grey concrete and place 1 on the left, leave a gap of 2, place 1 on the right. Then I'm going to grab myself some chiselled bookshelves, go place 2 there. And then I'm also going to grab myself some books to fill this bookshelf up with. I'm just going to place 3 in each shelf, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then on the end there, I'm just going to grab myself a little flower pot, place 1 there. I'm going to fill that with a dandelion, just like so. That'll complete the living room area. So now it's time to move upstairs. So for the bedroom, first thing I'm going to grab myself some white wool. I'm just going to place 3 going along like that. I'm also going to grab myself some white carpet and I'm just going to place 3 on top of the wall there for a nice looking pillow. And then I'm going to grab myself some grey wool. And I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3 grey wool going along like that and extend that across just like so. And then I'm going to grab myself a birch sign. I'm just going to put 3 in front like that, and that will complete the bed. And the next, for a wardrobe, I'm going to grab myself some grey concrete. I'm just going to place 6 blocks just like so. And then I'm going to grab myself a stone button. I'm just going to place 1, 2 like that for some wardrobe handles there, which give us a nice modern looking wardrobe there. So that'll complete all of the bedroom interior. And the next up, for the bathroom area here. So for the bathroom, firstly, for that extra bit of privacy, I'm just going to grab myself some birch signs. I'm just going to place these on these windows for a nice little blind design there. And then next, for the shower, I'm going to grab myself some white stained glass panes. And just in the middle here, I'm going to place 1 pane there, followed by another one. I'm just going to build that up all the way to the top, just like so. And the next, I'm going to grab myself an iron trapdoor. I'm just going to place 1 down like that. And I'm also going to grab myself a stone button. I'm going to place 1 there. And for a shower head, I'm just going to grab myself a tripwire hook. Put it on top there. That'll give us a nice shower here. And then next to it, I'm going to add a little toilet. So I'm going to grab myself a cauldron. Place that down. Let's also fill that with some water. And then iron trapdoor on top, followed by a lever. So we can open and close the lid, almost like you're flushing it. That'll give us a toilet. And then also for some towels, I'm going to get 2 grey banners, just put them there. And going to the other side here, let's add a little sink area. So I'm going to grab myself some smooth quartz. Let's place 1 on each end. In the middle, I'm going to add another cauldron with some water. Then I'm going to grab another lever and just put that on the end for a nice little tap there. And then I'm also going to add a nice little flower pot here for some more decoration. So let's fill that with another fern there. Put that in there. And next, for a mirror, what you're going to need a grey banner and some grey dye. Let's also grab ourselves a loom as well. Put these in. Just want this border here. And that'll give us a nice little mirror, just like so there. And that will complete the bathroom area. So with the bathroom all decorated, that is the yellow house all complete. So to complete the row houses, what you've got to do, you just got to repeat this tutorial another 2 times. And as you see, I've got the land marked out here. And all you got to do is just replace the main colour block for the other two colours, which is green and cyan. But this is also an opportunity to customise it however you want. But yeah, just repeating this exact same design another 2 times, just lining them next to each other, just where I've put all the borders here. So through repeating this process another 2 times, you should end up with 3 row houses like this. So as you see, they connect nicely together. But then as you'll notice on the end here, once you have finished these, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap on the balcony there, which is not good for health and safety. So I'm just going to add an extra glass pane on the end there, just to finish that off. But yeah, once the other 2 houses are built, that is all of the row housing all complete. And the great thing about this design is the fact that you can extend it as far as you want. And you'll notice as well that these driveways are empty. I have got some great car tutorials in the car dealership tutorial that I did a few years ago, which can be found on my channel. Now here's a little extra part of the video for those who are on creative mode and in Java edition. So if you want to add a little bit of extra detail to your house, just those final touches, you can use some custom heads. So the way you get those is if you just do /give and then @p and then Minecraft : command block. That will give you a command block here. Now if I just place that down, you see the normal interface here. So I'm just going to place 3 command blocks down like so, because I'm going to be getting 3 heads. And then if you head over to minecraftheads.com, there are loads of custom heads to choose from. So let's get a few extra items in the house for a bit of extra decoration. So I want to add a PlayStation 5 to begin with. There we are, so let's just grab that one. So I'm just going to copy this command, make sure it's in the right version you're on. And then I'm just going to, where it says give code, copy that. And then just going to paste that in the first command block there, and also add a button like so. So yeah, going to do the exact same thing for another 2 heads, just going to grab the code and then paste it into these other command blocks here. But yeah, if you want to add some extra decorations to this house, you can basically choose any head you want to make it your own home. So I'm going to add some food for the kitchen, so I might grab this curly fries head here. So I'm just going to copy that. And I think I'm also going to add a little plushie to the house as well. Might put that in the bedroom. As you see, this website's got loads of plushies. Let's add this little koala bear. I think that's a nice one. So we can copy that as well. So with all of the commands pasted in, I'm just going to press these buttons, and that'll give me all of the heads. So yeah, you don't have to choose the exact heads, because I understand with a house, you basically want to make it your own. So just choose whatever heads you want. I think these just add like a nice extra touch. So let's add the PS4 just here. And then we can replace this plate with a baked potato. Oh, I just destroyed the table. Dear oh me, let's quickly replace that. And then let's replace the baked potato with some nice curly fries there. And then upstairs, let's add a nice little koala plushie just on top of the bed. Just like so. As you see, these heads aren't exactly needed for the build. It's just a nice little extra detail to add. So I hope you did enjoy this tutorial, and I hope you are pleased with the final result. As always, if you did enjoy, I'd really appreciate a little hit on that like button, as it does help me out, and I'd highly appreciate that. But until next time, thanks for watching, and have a good day.